11:55 a.m. Saturday, July the 17th, 2021. We're at Yonge and Dundas Square. We have several protests going on here. We have Vietnamese Canadians for human rights and democracies. We have Freedom for Cuba. And we have the ODSP. So, and I do believe we're going to have another protest marching through here shortly.
And rent for a room is now $800.
So it appears Saturday is going to be another day of protests here in Toronto.
Now putting their ads that ODSP and OW clients need not apply. Because they know that if ODSP and OW clients have to use all their check, both halves, their basic needs and their shelter allowance to pay the rent, they have to do something shady to get by. And they don't want crime going on in their property. So now they don't want to rent to OW and ODSP clients because ODSP clients have to turn to doing illicit things in order to survive. This is not right. This is what? This is cost in the criminal court system? So the politicians can make jobs for their lawyer friends? For the 1%? You know? Keep the people poor so that they commit crime? This is wrong. Many studies show that if you let people out of poverty, crime goes down. Crime goes down. So do hospitals. You know, people don't get beat up so much. You know? There's a problem when the politicians want to keep people fighting amongst themselves in order to survive. You know? Trying to tell people that the choice that they're making to live on the farm.
We have a presence in social media. Vietnamese Canadians for human rights, of course, as well. They also suffer for not having democracy. And that's what we need to do. Colombians need to be here. Venezuelans need to be here. Nicaraguans need to be here. This is not just about Cuba. This is about many countries that don't respect human rights. And we need to stand together. And it is about time. And Canada, because they give us this status of refugees running from these dictators, they have to say the truth. And they have to take a stand. And stop putting businesses before the people. Before, because that's what they care. They care about the businesses. They care about going down to Cuba and running away from winter. I would love to be in my island, free, and not freezing my ass here. Believe me, I don't want to be here if it wasn't because I'm running away from a dictatorship. Okay? Everybody wants to have our beautiful countries. We want to be in our countries free. Okay? So we're not here because of the weather. We're here because we can do this and the police is actually taking care of us. So we want this exact situation in our countries. Being able to say and speak freely and no one beating us to death. That's all we want. We want freedom! 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 Justin Trudeau, I really need you to stand up. I really need you to say the truth. I really need you to stop the hypocrisy. I'm going to repeat this over and over and over. But also to the Canadian community. Canadians need to stop saying that this is because of the embargo. The embargo is not killing people right now at this minute. The embargo is not making people not being able to say a word. The embargo is not stopping anyone from speaking freely. We want elections. What about if we have elections, if they respect our human rights? How about that? But the government won't allow that. Exactly, there are more than 400 people kidnapped in our island right now because they were at those peaceful protests, and the embargo didn't do that. The United States is not there. And me personally, Elizabeth Rodriguez, Okay? I'm not talking about every Cuban, but at this minute, I don't want to be colonized by another person. I want us as Cubans to achieve this freedom on our own. But this is me, this is my opinion. Many other Cubans can have other opinions, and I can respect that too. Okay, but we do need help somehow because our people are unarmed. They are unarmed. The leaders, they took every single leader, so people don't know who to follow. People don't know where to go. People don't know how to assembly. There is no internet, so they can organize another protest. Right now, people have no internet and they are afraid because their neighborhoods are filled with police. And the police is dressed as civilians, so you cannot know who is on your side and who's against you because they're traitors, because they're rats. And I'm sorry about the rats. Yes, they cut off the internet on purpose, of course, because they don't want people to communicate and be able to have another protest. Exactly. They say that if you're using VPN, which is the only way that people are being able to communicate right now.
There you have it, folks. Yonge and Dundas.
We guarantee
Another day of protest here.
average market rent should be guaranteed constitutionally. All these housing programs, shelter programs, food bank programs, these all keep people in poverty. They are designed to keep people in poverty. They are not designed to lift you out of poverty. They are not designed to end your poverty. They are designed to keep you in their poverty. You know? End poverty now. That's the chant going on. End poverty now. End poverty now. City TV, where are you? Why are you not reporting what's actually going on? Where's your camera crew? Where are your reporters? No, you'd rather hide up there and just take John Tory's word and Doug Ford's word for what's actually going on. That's not called investigative reporting. That's called mimicking. You're just being a minor bird. See us clapping, you know, for the audience.
Just get here.
Whatever. Enough.
Over there to your left, one
Disabled people who are not in subsidized housing, 88% of disabled people who are not in subsidized housing need a rent increase. You know? Even if you double the $497 shelter allowance for people on ODSP, it's only $994. And most disabled people need a bachelor and one-bedroom apartment so they have a kitchen and other rooms where they can have their medical device. This is what's going on. You can't expect somebody in a wheelchair to find a room that's a walk-up. It ain't happening. You know? It's shameful, you know?
For you by working our lives away. Hey, can you maybe, I don't know, make sure that the homeless and the disabled aren't collapsing onto the street directly in front of us? The answer is, look, you're fucking lazy, go get a job. These people are sociopaths. There's no other word to use any longer. These people are fucking sociopaths. They are abandoning us. They are abandoning the poor. They are abandoning the disabled. They are abandoning the society. And why? For what?
This guy's Chinese military, folks. He has been at past protests at Queen's Park. If y'all look back in my videos, I have him in almost Chinese military uniform.
I don't give a fuck. Hey kids! Hey kids! Hey little tiny children! You live in a society where you will be abandoned. You live in a society where adults get worried about swear words like fuck, shit, ass, all that. But they'll fucking abandon you out onto the streets. You do what you're told. You do what you're told, little children. You do what you're told or you'll get abandoned on the streets.
Chinese military guy go?
They should be forced to join the 99%. So that all equality. You know, everybody wants to throw around the word equality, but as long as the 1% are the 1% and not part of the 100%, it's total inequality. And it will be inequality until they join the other 99% and make it 100% of the population.
I'm saying, people, pay attention. Reality's about to get fuck crazy, man.
For 88% of the people on ODSP, it's not enough rent money. Would you not agree? Only 12%, according to ISAC, Income Security Advocacy Center, only 12% of ODSP clients actually live in subsidized housing. That's why you have disabled people sleeping in the parks and in the shelters and wherever else they're putting them, stashing them, instead of giving them a home.
The Embassy of Cuba is planning a
Hotels are not homes. Shelters are not homes. You know, a home welfare check of $730 for a single person on welfare, when the room is $800, does not compute. It doesn't add up. You know, how can people pay rent for $800 when they're only getting $730? Isn't that trying to induce crime to happen? Isn't that aiding and abetting every crime that happens in Toronto by homeless people? Isn't the city aiding and abetting in that, and the province? They're aiding and abetting in all crimes that poor people commit. You know, nobody wants to talk about that. You know, nobody wants to talk about what's going on. Nobody wants to talk about that many of these condos and buildings are owned by speculators and people from other countries, you know, and they're rented to Canadians and absorbing amounts, you know, all of the names of them get more than 1%. They want to be the 0.5%. You know, they want to get the competition there and print them out. You know? We have a problem.
Like, hopefully we're going to have the advantage of all this year.
Guy's a can up his ass. Not a fag or nothing, just trying to show you an obvious observation, but Saturday, July the 17th, you're at Yonge and Dundas. The craziness continues. People losing their fucking minds. Protest, protest, protest. Chinese military stalking the fuck out of activists.
We got you in that box.
That's no longer a fucking...
We need to share those videos.
You're a warehouse human being. I get it, love it. You're a warehouse human being.
Because we know those uniforms.
And don't say that. Toronto housing is a shithole. Go look at 200 Wellesley Street where I live. It's a shithole.
So don't give up. I know they have
go in the stairwells, find the feces, find the urine, find the used needles, find the spilled alcohol, find the used gun. You know, go look at it for yourself. We have to put up with it. The security and the police can't do nothing. You know, a lot of the people with mental health issues should be in supportive housing. So they can get help to deal with this addiction and their warning issues. And any other issues they got going on that causes them to be antisocial and a problem for other tenants. They should be in subsidized housing, in supportive housing, I mean, with more rules. You know, with a curfew, no allowing people in after hours, no dragging furniture, and we have bedbugs in at fucking 2 in the morning. We need some stuff going on here. We need some people to do some real shit. You know? Not pretend that everybody that's on ODSP or OW is a drug addict or has mental health issues, because we certainly do not.
We were born and
the ones of us who do not have mental health issues or drug addiction, and even some with mental health issues, don't like living in Toronto housing because of the problem. You know, we have problems. We need average market rent money, so if we have a problem, we can go rent another place to live so that our health is not in jeopardy any worse than it already is.
people be racist or people...
Food banks do not help those with celiac disease, Crohn's disease, IBS, or any other gastrointestinal problems. Those are the most vulnerable. Those are the ones where the politicians are lying about saying that food banks help them.
In order to do
These do not help
something
them.
free Cuba.
That's
So
a lie.
please don't give up. This will take a long time.
Me having to sit here and yell, it's causing my audience to flare up. It's like somebody's sticking a spear in my side right now.
We're not alone.
So they can find their own food, so they can get help. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Cut the nonsense now!
For 70 years, since Ho Chi Minh, who is the biggest murderer in our history, brought communism into Vietnam. Vietnamese people started to suffer, and they are still suffering as of now. So please join me in chanting a few words. First, I'm going to call for freedom for Cuba and freedom for Vietnam. So if you can just interchange it. If I say freedom, please respond by saying for Cuba, and the next time you say for Vietnam. Can we do that? Can we do that? All right, let's try. Freedom! Freedom! Let's do it for real now, louder, okay? Freedom! Freedom! And by chanting that, we tell ourselves that we have to do something. We can't just stay here and shout freedom and freedom will come. Do you agree? We can't just sit here and see things happen and it'll happen in our favor. So to achieve our goal of gaining freedom for Cuba, for Vietnam, for other parts of the world, we have to all fight. And in order to fight effectively, we have to be one. So this is the second chant that we're going to do. We are not afraid. Yeah? So I'll say, we are, and you do the second part. We are! For freedom for Cuba and Vietnam and China and North Korea, blah, 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 any other part of the world, we have to, we are! That's very weak, we have to fight harder. We are! We are! We are! We are! We are! Raise your claret, raise your weapon. We are! We are! We are! Thank you, my friends, and we'll keep fighting together, okay, until freedom comes to our country.
We don't want to actually deal with the problem. We don't want to deal with the crisis. We don't want to deal with the situation. But Trudeau will do our little photo op, smile with his big saber-toothed grin with his droopy hair, and then completely forget about the issue entirely. We have a social responsibility to take care of our poor and vulnerable. We have a social responsibility to take care of our poor and our vulnerable. We have a responsibility. It's the responsibility bestowed on us by powers that are greater than our nation and Canada itself. We have to take care of our poor and our vulnerable, and we are not. We are abandoning people. We are abandoning people to the streets. We are abandoning people to poverty. We are abandoning people. And the only amount of money that we're willing to spend to deal with people who are homeless or disabled is on police. To clear them out of the encampments if they're found. That's the only money that we're willing to spend. Is to take a billy club and beat them up. Why? Why? It simply doesn't need to be this way. It simply does not need to be this way. That we could very simply take the money that we're using to beat these people up and give it to them so that they can get an apartment, so that they can get food. This city spends an overwhelming amount of money on its services while cutting funding for people with disabilities, while cutting funding. Where's the sense in this? Where's the logic?
Raise ODSP!
Raise ODSP! Raise ODSP! It's very straightforward. It could be done in a day. It would take no time at all. And the people who are walking around saying this embarrassing slogan of how are you going to pay for that are the same people who are worshiping Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos as they shoot rockets into space with money that we made for them. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. The fact that we have to be out here fighting for this is a national embarrassment. It's an absolute embarrassment to have to fight for poverty. It's an absolute embarrassment. We here in Canada are so proud of our universal healthcare system. When I was growing up, everybody told me how hard we fought and how proud we were to have a universal healthcare system, while simultaneously turning around and abandoning people onto the streets. How can we be so proud of taking care of each other's health, but we refuse to take care of each other's shelter, or rent, or food? These are basic necessities. We treat healthcare as if it's a basic human right. We treat healthcare as if it's a basic human right. And yet when it comes to food and shelter are not basic human rights. So if I break my leg, I can get a cast and that's fine, but if I need a meal, too bad. This is the logic of Canada. We can do so much better than this. We're an extremely wealthy nation. We're an extraordinarily wealthy nation. We can do better than this. We should do better than this. It's staggering that no politician at any point has stood up and said, and no politician at any point. It's staggering to believe that people got into politics in order to do what exactly? To do what exactly?
Raise ODSP! No more poverty!
No more poverty!
Raise ODSP!
Raise ODSP!
No more poverty!
No more poverty!
Raise ODSP!
Raise ODSP!
No more poverty!
No more poverty!
Housing is a human right! Housing is a human right! No more poverty!
No more poverty!
Solve this problem. Give people the money they need to get rent and food. It's very straightforward. It's very simple. It's very easy.
Shame on Doug Ford!
Shame on Doug Ford!
Shame on Doug Ford!
Shame on Doug Ford!
So what else is it? Is this the nation where Christ said, blessed are the meek? Can you read this? Where Christ talked about helping the poor and the disabled? You're not going to read any of those. I suspect you're not going to read a single one of those.
Confirmed to us by them that heard him.
Keep going, brother. Keep going.
We live in a society that is actively abandoning its poor and actively abandoning the disabled. It's choosing to do so. It wants to do so. And the people who are willing to stand up against it are standing against a great and pernicious evil. And there is no other word to use but a great and pernicious evil. Here I am talking about poverty alleviation. Here I am talking about helping people. I literally have a guy reading from the Bible over here who's refusing to actually read the lines of poverty alleviation. Yes, we've all fallen short of the glory of God. Absolutely.
Today to yell at you and say that you're sinners and not against you.
This guy, he says, I'm not here today to tell you you are sinners. I am here today to say that.
Can I say one thing about
Absolutely.
I'm an indigenous man. My mother was taken at gunpoint by the Roman Catholic Church. She's a survivor of the residential schools. Where was your God then?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
To preach
Hey, you fake Christian! You fake Christian, you! You fake Christian! You fake Christian! You're not here to support the poor and disabled. You're just here to spout your nonsense. Alright? Put up and shut up! Help the poor by actually joining in a poverty protest. Put your mouth where your... whatever, man. I forgot how that goes. You know? Put your money where your mouth is.
God's word. God proved himself.
You know, all religion's supposed to help the poor, but none of the ministers will take their frickin' congregations out to a anti-poverty protest, will they? How many frickin' church leaders are here today? How many church leaders are here today with their congregation to fight against poverty? Hey? How many? Huh? Enough is enough. You know? Give anybody a microphone. You know, this is not a Christian when he tries to tell me that I gotta repent for being trans. That's not a Christian. You know? It's not a Christian.
And there's nothing that we can do.
You want to stop your evil hatred? Get off our street.
To make ourselves right.
It's not because they made a choice to.
Sorry, folks, I'm losing my fucking composure here. These goddamn Jesus folks have been trying to shut them up for a long fucking time. I thought it was a criminal code offense to preach the fucking Bible. But yet these guys are out here spewing their garbage every fucking day on this corner. And I'm sick and tired of it.
Away from renting a room.
And these guys failed to fucking enforce any laws in this fucking city.
Where? And then how are they supposed to have a phone? How are they supposed to have bus fare to go look for a job? If they so wish to look for one. You know? It's ludicrous what the government and the officials are telling the public. It's wrong. Many people at ODSP are struggling to make ends meet. It's not right. You know? It's not right when our leaders would rather demonize the homeless than to take care of them. It's shameless when the politicians and the media, you know, want to portray all homeless people as drug addicts with mental health issues, or with mental health issues, or both. You know, it's just shameful. Many ODSP and OW clients do not have drug addiction. Many do not have mental health issues. Many are upset. You know? Probably the public wish that all ODSP clients had mental health issues so that they wouldn't fight back. Well, that's what we do. We fight back. Because we don't have mental health issues. We do not all have mental health issues. We do not all have drug addiction. We do not all use needles. You know? It's shameful what's going on in this country. Denying people the benefits of the...
There's the freedom for Cuba. Vietnam protesters dispersing.
Over and over and over again. For 3 years I've done this.
Don't know whether it's the rain.
I talked about this stuff, but the media won't air it. They would rather air John Tory's bullshit and Doug Ford's bullshit. They don't want the truth to be told about why people are homeless. If you want to know why people are homeless, I got a handout here that I wrote out. It's got everything on it. You know? I can give you a handout. You want to know what's going on with homeless people? It's right here, black and white. The bottom line is ODSP and OW benefits. The shelter allowance and the basic needs allowance have to be doubled, and doubled immediately, if people want to stop having to sleep in the park or in shelters. Shelters are not homes. Temporarily housing somebody in a hotel is not putting them in a home. It's not housing them. It's temporarily putting them up in a shelter. You know? We need the rent allowance, the shelter allowance for ODSP and OW double. $390 for OW for welfare clients to rent somewhere. If you double that, it's $780. That's a lot closer to getting a room. And if you double their basic needs allowance from $340 to $680, they can actually have some sort of life and buy some food and get some clothes and buy some cleaning materials so they can do their laundry and have a bed and have a fridge with food in it. You know, instead of making everybody struggle trying to figure out what goes from one day to the next, and having everybody fight with each other, and having minimum wage people say, we can't let the people on OW and ODSP get more money than us. It's their fault that we don't get more money. Well, it's not our fault. You gotta fight for yourselves. Shouldn't be up to disabled and poor people to fight for able-bodied people's wages. Although we would, even though we got 50 different organizations that commanded
Well, looks like it's coming to a close, folks. It's 1:30 p.m. Pretty sad how nobody shows up to back up this worthy cause. You know, they'll be the first ones to cry when their checks get cut off, but there's nobody here backing it up. It's just disgusting how people, like I said, will complain and bitch online. Keyboard warriors.
You know, we have a petition with over 45,000 names. We have.
But you won't come here to fight for your checks.
Over 45,000 names has been submitted to Queen's Park. Yes. Well, yeah. I'm gonna come off the road. Thank you, everybody, and please look us up online. P.O.O.F. Protecting ODSP OW funding. It's all one title. P.O.O.F. all caps. Protecting ODSP OW funding. Please look us up and join our group and come out to future protests because we really need your help. Okay? Police did absolutely nothing to help us today. Actually, to the point where they shoved people out of the way, and when one person shoved back, they arrested them. You know? That's how their tactics were. They shoved people out of the way to let the cars go through. Because they don't get help from capitalist ties.
Once again, people, I'm disappointed nobody showed up for this cause. I know there's hundreds of thousands of people on OW, ODSP, and they will cry for their checks. They will complain and bitch online when they get cut off or there's any cutbacks or whatnot. But when it comes down to being here to fight for it, you know, nobody shows up because it's a rainy day or they done too much crack last night or, you know, whatever the cause may be. Just remember one thing though, y'all get cut off, you're not going to be able to do no more crack or drink. Alright? So, remember that if you ever get cut off or end up homeless and all that fucked up shit, here on Dundas, Yonge, just remember, we were out here fighting for you. Didn't see you here. Planet Keeper Media, Yonge and Dundas, July 17, 2021, 1:35 p.m. Here because you can't be. 1:41 p.m. July 17th, 2021. Still at Yonge and Dundas. We got animals riding animals. I mean, the Toronto Police.
There's that midget female cop in the front.
Yes.
Legs are too short, even reach your stirrups.
The leader's actually at the back. Horses don't like it. Horse doesn't like being at the back. No, horse. You want to go to the front, you need to walk.
Mounties. TPS Mounties. Yonge and Dundas, Saturday, July 17th. Time is almost 2:20 p.m. This is the March for Freedom. Folks, it looks like we have two movements coming together here at Yonge and Dundas.
It never works. I prefer freedom.
Double movement, folks. Double movement. Coming together. Freedom for Cuba protest, Freedom for Vietnam. We had ODSP protest, in which I became very engaged in, and sorry, but I had to speak my mind. And now we have the March for Freedom from Queen's Park, interacting with the Freedom for Cuba movement.
How they're going to implement worldwide all the government's corrupted? The state, destroying the economy, take away freedom, society. Back better. Why? Because we want a different society.
July 17th, 2021. Time is 2:42 p.m. Yonge and Dundas Square. We got a man down. I'm not sure what happened, but we got a man down. And thankfully, Toronto Fire happens to be here on the scene. We got a man down, folks. Man down. Thankfully, Toronto Fire is here, folks. Toronto Fire is here. All right, folks.
What happened?
Not sure what happened here. All I heard was help, help. Oh man, he's an elderly man too. All right, professionals are here. Thankfully, we had the professionals on site right away. This is a true blessing. Good things happen to good people. Thank you for being here, Toronto Fire. They're the last professional agency I have respect for. Firefighters. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. This is Planet Keeper Media here at Yonge and Dundas. Alright, he's up and at him, he's on the stretcher.
Yeah, he's very good.
And good job, Toronto Fire. How about a round of applause for Toronto Fire?
Yeah.
Toronto Fire, thank you very much. Good job, brothers. They just happened to be here, Johnny on the spot, folks.
Oh, yeah.
This is what miracles are made of.
Yeah.
As I always say, a precious few minutes or seconds can make the difference.
Yeah.
And these lifesavers just happened to be here as this man fell and hit his head. Planet Keeper Media here at Yonge and Dundas as things continue. It's Saturday afternoon, July the 17th, 2021.